Hello! Happy Monday night. I just remembered I forgot my microphone. You'll be able to hear me much better when I have this on. So give me 1 second to get all mic'd up. In the meantime, I'm sure you can hear me. Hey, Leah Marie. Good to see you. Just getting mic'd up because I forgot it. Running a little late. Okay. Now you get the behind the scenes of all the snazziness of this. Right. Oh, thanks, kiddo. All right. That should be better. Hey, Sarah. I had a pretty good day, thanks. And a big clunky microphone. Welcome. Excited to talk about self-care toolbox. Hey, Melissa, welcome. Got my trusty water. All right. Good evening, everybody. It is Monday night, Convos with Kerri. Here we are. Tonight we're going to be talking about what's in your self-care toolbox. I'm going to share a little bit about some things I use to keep myself centered and connected and stuff like that there. Excellent. So some housekeeping stuff to start. For those of you who don't know me or aren't familiar with my work, my name is Kerri Richardson. I'm a lifestyle designer and a coach. And I work with people all over the world. I work with them virtually on the phone and via Skype. To help them basically get from where they are to where they want to be. And we come up with an action plan to get them there while identifying any limited thinking or blocking beliefs or self-sabotage that might be getting in their way. So you can find out more about me at kerririchardson.com. Would love it if when you're there you can sign up for my weekly newsletter where you'll get, you'll be the first to know about any new offerings, any upcoming special events like Facebook Lives, etc. And would also love it if you would share this video. If you're watching right now, or even if you're watching the replay, if you can go ahead and share the video, that would be great. And speaking of replay viewers, if you are watching this at any time other than Monday night, 7:30 Eastern Time to about 8:15 Eastern Time, I'm not really live. You're watching a recording. So if you say something in the comments section and I don't respond, I'm not ignoring you. It's that you're watching a recording. I do go back through the comments throughout the week and answer anything that is posted. So please still feel free to comment, ask a question, offer some feedback, anything at all, and I'll circle back around and respond to it. Let's see. Oh yeah, and if throughout the video, please, I want to hear from you. I want to hear what your self-care tools are. How do you take good care of yourself when things are stressed? When things are hectic, when you just feel like you're not grounded, what do you do to take care of yourself? Because we can all use some more tools. So please feel free to share in the comments below. And I think that is all of the housekeeping stuff. I feel like there's one more thing that I'm forgetting. Oh yeah. When you're watching, if you hear something you like, or, just want to let me know that you're kind of jiving with what I say, give me a thumbs up, a heart, a smiley face, anything like that. The more interaction that the video gets, the more people will see it. And with crazy social media, I need your help to help people. So, hey, Linz, welcome. All right, now I think that is all of the housekeeping stuff. So let's dive in to what is in your self-care toolbox. So you're going to see me glancing over here every now and then. It's just some notes that I have. And also this allows me to see any of your comments much more easily if I look on my laptop, so I'm not like scrolling in front of your face like this. So if you see me glancing over here, that's what's going on. Alrighty. So, self-care toolbox. So I wrote a blog post, God, it has to be 3 years ago now or so, where I talked about, 5 essential tools to help you live out loud. And, we talked about one a couple weeks back when we talked about boundaries, how important that is in living an authentic life and living a life that really matters to you. There are some there are some tangible tools as well. Like that's kind of conceptual, right? But I have some tangible tools as well that I use when I feel like I'm getting off course, or I feel like, if you have trouble making decisions, or you just feel like you're kind of spiraling, you can't seem to like focus on one thing. All of that speaks to your energy not being grounded. So you're kind of like energetically out of your body. So these are the tools that I use to bring myself back to center so I can focus better, I can make decisions easier, I don't feel so overwhelmed by things in my life or stuff that needs my attention. So the first thing I use is a journal. No surprise there, right? So I have visual aids this week. So there's going to be a few different journal type things that you see me hold up here. So got a regular journal. So this is a beautiful little journal here. I think it's important to have one that you really like, that you find like pretty and that works well for you, like silly little qualities about it that I like. It's got the rubber band that closes it so it keeps it shut. See it there? There it is. I like that. It's got the little ribbon that keeps your place so you can easily find your spot. This one also has a nice little pocket in the back, which if I had fingernails I could easily take out and show you. Yeah. So it's got a nice little pocket in the back, so if I have like, I don't know, a fortune cookie fortune I want to tuck in there, or like a little note or something else, I've got a nice little area in there for it. And personally I like lined pages. So I like, this has the lined pages, and it also lays flat when you open it. So they may seem like silly things, but when you want a self-care tool to work for you, it needs to, when you want to have success using a self-care tool, it needs to work for you. Those are the different ways that this particular journal works for me. I definitely like lined pages, and I definitely like one that lays flat on its own and doesn't like close. Those are probably the two most important things for me personally. So that sets me up for success, right? When I have a journal that I think is pretty, it's a nice size, it's not huge. Also a pen that writes really well. This is a cheap little pen that I got from my local utility company, but I love the way it writes, so it makes me more apt to actually write in my journal. So journal is a huge one. Having a place where you can unload, process, grieve, be pissed, all of those things. It's, you've got this handy little tool here that's not going to judge you. It's not going to try to fix you. It really is a place that you can just dump whatever's going on for you, and it clears your mind. So really, this is something that is super helpful to, have a conversation with your younger self, with that part of you that's feeling scared or nervous or stressed or any number of things. It's like, this is a great place to talk to that one. Hey, Laura, welcome. So there's that. So the journal I love. So would love any of you who journal. If you're someone who tends to journal or have used a journal in the past, go ahead and give me a thumbs up or a heart. Make a comment below. Would love to hear how journaling works for you. Like, please feel free to let me know in the comments. That would be awesome. Okay, great. So journal is one of my top tools. Then, let's see here. Another thing that I love is what I call a happy moments jar. So a happy moments jar, this is mine. It's just this beautiful glass vase, this nice square vase that I like. Big opening, nice and easy to use. Again, things have to be easy. Otherwise, they're going to be self-care tools that you end up fighting against, and that's no good. So happy moments jar is something that I use to do just that, capture like one highlight from the day. And so I have a really easy way of doing this. So I have a desk calendar, right? You peel it off, Nice and easy. So it's a day calendar. So what I do is I peel off that day. Like today, I will peel off today's, and I just flip it over. So it already has the date on it, right? Hey, Eddie. Welcome. It's so good to have you here. So it already has the date on it, right? So we've got the... yeah. So yes. So I've got this. Really easy. I peel the day. I flip it over. I write a highlight from the day. So like today, for instance, I got to spend time with my nephew Shane, who is the cutest 3-year-old. We got to play at the park today. It was a nice day, unseasonably warm for this time of year. So I will write that on the back of this. I'll fold it up, and it will go into my happy moments jar. So then what's really cool is at the end of the year, like New Year's Eve, so fun to go back through this and get to see what some of my highlights were for each day of the year. Now again, this, like journaling, don't stress yourself out by thinking you have to be perfect. Like, I don't have every day in here from the beginning of the year. There are some days that I forgot, and I go to turn my daily calendar and I'm 5 days behind. So sometimes if there are like things that really stand out, I will go back to previous days, write it, and put it in the container. But if I can't think of anything, then I just, I recycle those pages and I don't beat myself up for it. It's like, listen, you know what? This is supposed to be something that brings me joy at the end of the year. And if I make it a source of stress throughout the year, I won't do it. So I got to be kind to myself. So I will do this. I try to remember as many days as I can. Those days that I don't, oh well, move on. So same thing with the journal. Don't think that if you want to start using a journal as a self-care tool, that if you don't journal in it every single day, then there's no point. Like, that's that all or nothing thinking that we can do. We do this all or nothing thinking, like, if I can't go to the gym for 2 hours, then I'm not going to go at all. Or if I'm not going to journal every day, I'm not going to, journal at all. That stuff's bullshit. Like, you've got to give yourself a little bit of breathing space here to start to build a habit, to feel out which of these tools work for you and which don't. Toss the ones that don't, use the ones that do. And, if it means not doing it every day at first, totally fine. So just want to say hi to some people I missed. I think I saw Mary here. Hey, John. Okay, yeah, I think I've got everyone. Yeah, Sarah, so you missed some days and you felt bad. It's not like these are tools to help you to feel really good about yourself, to help you build a stronger, more positive relationship with yourself. So if you don't journal every single day, or you don't do a happy moments jar every single day, it's totally fine. Like, I think part of self-care is being able to give yourself a break. And it's like, okay, well, I missed a day. Oh, well. So happy moments jar is a great one. Again, along that same line, hey, Judy, along that same line with the happy moments jar, same thing with the journal. It's a thing that is meant to make you feel good. It's not a tool to beat yourself up with. So when you miss some days, use that opportunity to kind of like write your course if your thinking goes off the track. Hey, Kate. If your thinking goes off track where it's like, oh, I didn't do it every day, forget it. That's not the idea. One thing I always remind myself and I remind my clients is, with all or nothing thinking, nothing always wins. So I'm going to say that one more time. With all or nothing thinking, nothing always wins. If we expect ourselves to do it right all the time, we will never get started, because we won't give ourselves any leeway or like any breathing space. It's like, just do your best. Like, your best is good enough. So get away from that all or nothing thinking. So yeah, happy moments jar. Oh, that's the other thing I wanted to say about the happy moments jar. Along that same line of not worrying about being perfect, even though here we are on February 20th, you can start this today. It doesn't have to be January 1st to start this. Just like I'm not going to have 365 happy moments in this jar, you don't have to skip it just because you didn't start on January 1st. So I encourage you to start today or tomorrow. Doesn't matter. Doesn't have to be a glass jar. It can be a Tyvek envelope. Really. Like, give yourself a break and do it however works for you. What is the easiest way that's going to make you stick with something or try something? So, yeah, so give that a go. Yeah, Pamela, your best is always the best. Exactly. Oh, exactly. I love that. So, would love for you guys to start the Happy Moments jar. You know, you can come back to this video, throw a comment below it, let me know that you've started it. Or, you know, go on my Facebook page, facebook.com/KerriCoach, and post a picture of your jar or your envelope or whatever you use. Doesn't matter, but would love to see that it's something you're using as well. All right. So, again, feel free to comment below. I'm looking at the comments here before I go through some more tools. I'm just going to take a sip to be proactive and preventative with my coughs. Because those of you who have been with me for the past couple weeks, it's the cough that never dies. Although I got to say I'm doing pretty good right now. Okay, so the next tool I'm going to talk about is a photo of yourself as a child. Okay, here we go. So this is me. This is me in kindergarten. I love this picture. I think I'm adorable in it. The pigtails crack me up because they are, if I'm not mistaken, they are up with rubber bands. Boy, did those frickin' kill when you took them out. I've got my favorite shirt on. That red scarf is attached to the shirt. The shirt is a bunch of umbrellas, and the white dots are supposed to be rain. So this is me in my kindergarten school picture. Why this is an important part of your self-care toolbox, yes, Lindsay, it does look like you. Lindsay's my niece, and we are twinsies. So, yeah, this is an important part of your self-care toolbox. Because having this handy and visible, like I either keep it on my refrigerator or I keep it on my desk nearby, when I find that I am beating myself up in any way, shape, or form, like, oh, Kerri, you're such an idiot, you forgot your happy moments from the past 3 days, or, thanks, Judy, or, God, I haven't journaled in 2 weeks, like, what the hell, or, why did I just eat that cookie, or anything of, like, when that negative ticker tape starts to go in your brain, I look at this picture, and I think to myself, I would never talk to her that way. So it's almost a way to separate that part of you. So I look at this little face and I imagine this little girl, little Kerri, and I imagine me saying those negative things that are going on in my brain. I imagine if I was looking at her in the face and saying that to her. Like, how awful is that? It really kind of shines a light on it where it's like, holy crap, I would never talk to her that way. I would never be like, oh my God, what the hell's wrong with you? You're so stupid. Like, why can't you can't even do a happy moments jar correctly. Like, why do you even bother? Or who do you think you are? No one cares what you have to say. It's like, oh, really? You're going to go onto Facebook Live tonight with a terrible hair day? I look at her when I say that and I'm like, you know what? Yeah. I don't think people really are on here to look at my hair. I need a haircut. What the hell? But really, it's like when that comes up, when I find myself wanting to keep myself small or stuck or stay way too much in my comfort zone, I look at her and I remind her, like, no, you got this. You can do this. Like, I'm proud of you. You're brave. You're awesome. So yeah, picture of yourself as a little kid. Have it be a picture that you love, that reminds you of a happy time. I loved kindergarten. I mean, the silly little memories I have from kindergarten. I don't know why the one that just stood out came to mind, but there was a boy in my kindergarten class who I thought was a girl just because he had really long eyelashes. So those kind of silly things is what you think of when you find photos of yourself that you love from when you were little. So again, would love it. Come on my Facebook page, share the picture of you as a little kid on there, and I would love to see some of them. Facebook.com/Kerri Coach. Awesome. All right, let me just check and make sure I'm not missing any comments. Remember in the comments, just tell me what self-care tools you use, anything that I haven't mentioned, or if you use something that I have mentioned, would love to hear what you all are using for self-care tools as well. Mary, how did you know it was Chris Dwyer? Oh my God, that's so funny. That is so freaking funny that you knew that. All right, so Mary, who's in the chat here, is a childhood family friend, and I went to school with her younger sister, and yes, it was Chris Dwyer in kindergarten who had like the most amazing eyelashes, and he had kind of long hair too. And for the record, I was 5, so I don't know. I thought he was a girl. I have no doubt this will now get back to Chris Dwyer because I'm friends with him on Facebook. Oh, that's so funny, Mary. Okay, yeah, so have that. So we've got a journal. We've got, so am I, Mary. Well, as you can see, we've got a happy moments jar and a picture, of yourself as a little kid. Those are the 3. I got 2 more to go. And then I really want to hear from you guys. So I have what I call a kudos file. Excuse me. So I have this electronically, so there's no like visual aid to show you. Yeah, I'm sure Chris will get a kick out of it. Are you kidding me? I will probably write to him on Facebook after this. So I have a kudos file. This is an electronic file I have in my email on my laptop, so I can't really show it. But basically what it is anytime I get an email from a newsletter subscriber, a client, a friend, a family member, where they say something really nice about me, they thank me for our work together, or they talk about a course that they took with me that helped them in some way, or anything at all, anything that is just a really nice compliment, I put it in the kudos file. And that I love to refer back to, because when I'm, when that negative ticker tape's going on, when I'm feeling shaky or not feeling terribly confident, maybe I am going to be giving a speech somewhere, or creating a new course, or writing a newsletter, and the voice is going, does anyone even read this thing? Or I'm just feeling kind of shitty about myself. It's so nice to be able to go to a file and be like, oh my God, wow, look at this person read my newsletter, a year ago and said that it was just what they needed to hear. And so that inspires me to write my next newsletter. Or, yours doesn't have to be electronic, right? Remember, any of these tools that I'm sharing, yours can be its own version of it. So maybe you get a compliment at work, a patient or a coworker or a customer says something nice to you. Go ahead and jot it down and, put it in a physical file. I have a physical kudos file too, actually, now that I'm thinking of it. It would take too long to pull it out, and my filing cabinet is squeaky, so it'll just be annoying. But anyway, you can jot it down. You can be like, oh my God, that was so nice what that coworker said to me. Or, I think in my physical file, I have an old job performance evaluation. Now, I haven't worked for someone else since 2005. But I can picture the job performance evaluation where I got lots of great feedback about my strengths and the difference I made at the company. And that's really nice to refer back to and read, especially when you're feeling in a really shitty spot. So kudos file is a great way for almost like an immediate pick-me-up. If the picture's not doing it, if you can't like retrain your brain or shift your thinking, the kudos file is just awesome to be able to jump right in there. So kudos file, highly recommend. Let's see. Y'all are awfully quiet tonight, or I'm just talking too much. So feel free to chime in. And again, just a reminder, as we're kind of in the last third of this, love for you to share the video, comment, like, love, laugh, whatever. Like, engagement is awesome, helps more people see this, and I want to help as many people as I can. So would love it if you would share it. If you're watching the recording, you can share the recording too. That would be great. The other thing I forgot to mention, you can subscribe to these videos so you get alerted anytime I go live. So please do that as well. All right, so the final tool that I'm going to talk about tonight, I'm sure there's more, that's why I would love to hear some of yours, is something I call a belief book. So a belief book, similar to a journal, so these are going to look kind of similar, but journal, belief book. A little different, but similar kind of journals, right? Thank you so much, you guys, for sharing. I really appreciate that. Okay, so Sarah, I kept a few happy moments in my jar when you commented on my Facebook post. Oh, I love that, Sarah. Awesome. So, yeah. So the journal, so a belief book. A belief book is something I use, and I often give my clients this assignment as well, when I find that I'm up against a blocking belief. And a blocking belief is something like, I don't have what it takes, or I never finish what I started, or, you know, I'm on my own, kind of like I don't have support available, or any statement or any way of thinking that stops me from moving forward is a blocking belief. And blocking beliefs, which we can do a whole week on that, so I'll just mention it briefly here. Look for like global type statements, like the world's out to get me, or why does this shit always happen to me? I have the worst luck. No good deed goes unpunished. All of those kinds of broad-reaching statements can be a blocking belief. And so I take my clients through a belief-flipping exercise, and that's when you need the belief book. So what that is you will identify the blocking belief. What's the thinking that is tripping you up or getting in your way, and then you come up with an opposite, really empowering belief. All right, Pamela, you got it. We'll do a week on blocking beliefs. I love that topic. So I'll show you here. So I'm going to flash it just because, you know, it's private, but I want you to just see what it looks like. So this, that is a repetitive writing of the new belief. So when I have a new empowering belief that contradicts the blocking belief that I've identified, part of the exercise of flipping the belief is writing it down 10 times every night in your belief book, repetitively. So, you know, I have everything I need to have everything I want. You know, like, for instance, that would be a powerful belief. You'd write it 10 times in a row every night for at least 2 weeks. That starts to plant the seed for the positive belief, which you can then start to germinate and grow. I'll ask Melissa to put a link. Let me see. Because I have an old blog post that I wrote that is always a favorite. 5 steps to flip a blocking belief. So I've got it right here. So I'm actually I'm gonna go ahead and paste that in the comments section. And let me see. Yeah. So I've just put it in the comments section and I've pinned it, so it should stay up top. And so after we're done here, which we'll be wrapping up shortly, you can click on that and it will take you through, it'll tell you a little bit about blocking beliefs, etc. And it will take you through the belief flipping exercise. So I mentioned just a part of it very briefly. That spells it out for you. So Belief Book is an important tool that I use as well. Now that's something I don't use often, but when I find a blocking belief that I'm up against and I can't seem to get out of my own way, that's something that I use as well. So those are 5 quick tools that I use. And actually, as I was saying that, one more came to mind that's pretty important, and this is one I use pretty consistently. It's invisible. I have nothing to show you, but it is an energy grounding exercise. And I actually have a video that I recorded. I'm going to just pull it up on my website so I can link to that as well. I have a video I recorded that demonstrates the exercise. So yeah, I've got it right here. So I will put that in the comments section as well, because it has a handy little video, because it's kind of hard to describe. I'll describe it very briefly here. But yeah, so I've pinned that one as well. So that's when you're feeling really out of sorts, I think it is on YouTube as well, Sarah, yeah. But it's also in that post, that "Hey, give me back my energy" post I just put in the comment section. But when you're feeling really out of sorts, or you're feeling like your energy's really out of your body, when you practice this particular grounding exercise enough, you're able to do it really quickly. You can get your energy grounded again. This is a great exercise for people who deal with anxiety, who just are stressed and overwhelmed, who feel scattered a lot of the time. Any of those conditions, when you're dealing with that scattered feeling, anxiety, etc., your energy is almost completely out of your body, if not entirely out of your body. It can seem a little bit, hey Diane, the exercise might seem a little woo-woo, but just give it a shot. Like, you don't have to be super visual, but it's an exercise that helps you to bring your energy back into your body, so you can be more grounded. That is a really important self-care tool. Any kind of energy management, super important, is always going to be able to help you just operate from a more centered and grounded place. So energy management is a huge self-care tool. All right, so I think I've got a few pinned oh, yeah. I don't know if you could do several pinned comments, but nope. All right, anyway, it's in the comments section. You can just scroll through and see what I mean there. So those are my self-care tools that are in my toolbox. Those are the ones I probably use the most regularly. Again, something like the Belief Book is a little bit more infrequent, just because that's a real, more extensive exercise, but they're all super helpful. So steal them, adopt them as your own, use them. I find that they're really helpful. And so I'm curious, before we wrap up, how do you all take care of yourself? Like, it can be like a walk in nature, like going for a walk, great example of a self-care tool. Talking with someone who you trust and love and who you feel supported by. That person is a great self-care tool of yours. I'm trying to think of some other things. Setting
boundaries.
Yeah, setting boundaries, good self-care tool. Thanks, Melissa. Yeah, so think about, how do you take good care of a nice hot bath? That's a self-care tool, right? Like, how do you nurture yourself and take care of yourself? It's important to think about what you do, because then when you remind yourself of it, you'll be apt to do it more. So Diane likes to make soap. Great example, right? So that's something that you enjoy. Sarah likes walking. Pamela, nature walking and photography. Oh yeah, I love that too. Leah Marie, coloring. Oh my God, that's such a good one. Yes. These are all awesome self-care tools. Think about it, the coloring, the nature walking, the photography, the making of the soap, things that you really love and enjoy. make you feel so good. And it's like, why don't we do these things more often? Like, we forget how kind of easy they are to do. Like, if you're watching one of your favorite shows at night, take out, I mean, there's so many of those great coloring books out there, right? Take out a coloring book, or even if you don't have a coloring book, take out a piece of like printer paper and some markers and just doodle. Make soap while you're watching your shows, or nature walks and photography. Like, I love that. I love both of those things, Pamela, so I'm with you on that. So let me see. Sleepy time tea and meditation music before bed. Yeah, Mary, I love that. I love the sleepy time tea. Perfect. Like, that's such a nice self-care example of how to set yourself up for a really good night's sleep. Love that. So, Gail, I start my day playing I can't pronounce that, so I'll just say African drum. Cool. To inspirational music, landscape photography, beach, flowers, sunsets when I get a chance. Oh, I feel better like reading yours, Gail. It's like, that's so cool. I would love it if you would put a picture of your drum on my page. Like, it would be really cool. That's really cool. Oh, look at Lindsay, my niece Lindsay, talking to my Auntie Kerri, my biggest tool. Me and my Lindsay Lou. I love talking to you too, Linz. Lindsay was one of the stars in my newsletter this week. If you didn't read it yet, Linz, it just went out today, but that's you I'm talking about. These are so good. See, now it's like I have ideas or reminders. It's like, you know what? I was doing some coloring on New Year's Eve, and I don't think I ever finished it, so now I want to go back and finish that. Or, I have some great relaxing tea that I don't reach for nearly often enough, so thank you, Mary. And the photography that Pamela and Gail both talked about, several years back, I took an online course called Be Your Own Beloved. And it's a whole idea of using photography to learn to love yourself more. Like, how cool is that, right? And, some of the assignments were taking photos of yourself, but some were to recognize the beauty around you. And so, some of the assignments were to go take a walk and snap some photos of your environment that make you smile. And, I do love to go for walks, but and I take some photos here and there, but that reminded me, you guys saying this here reminded me that those assignments that I did for that class, I went out to take pictures, and that was accompanied by walking, which is different than going out for a walk and snapping some photos. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's that subtle difference of what is your initial intention for getting out there. And those assignments, my initial intention was to take pictures, and the walking was just a bonus. And so I love that idea of getting outside just to take some pictures. I love photography too, so that's a big one for me. Judy, selecting an oracle card. I love that too. So Judy, I imagine that you have a deck at home, which I do as well. But I also wonder, do you know of any place online, Judy, where you can choose one virtually? I think that would be cool to share with people if you happen to. I know I have a couple apps on my phone from John Holland. I think he does some tarot deck, some apps where you can either do a spread or you can just choose one card for the day. So that's a couple apps for him, which I can't check the names of them right now because I'm recording this on my phone. But yeah, if you know of one, Judy, would love to see it in the comments. So Diane, swimming and walking in the woods with my daughter during fall, collecting colorful leaves to make an art project with. Oh, I love that, behind Choate Park. That's in my hometown. That's a great idea, Diane. And I bet you that's an amazing memory for your daughter, too, and a really great self-care tool for your daughter. Like, how cool to teach her those things when she's still young. You guys have great ideas here. I love this. So now, what I want you to think about as we wrap up, go back through these comments and especially look at the ones that you suggested or you mentioned and ask yourself, when's the last time you did those things? Judy uses Sonia Choquette's cards from Hay House. Okay, yep. Pamela, the Goddess Tarot is available for free for droids. Awesome, thank you. Good, so for you droid users, the Goddess Tarot, you can use that for free. Lots of great decks online that you can purchase from Hay House online or other places, bookstores, etc. Yeah, so I would encourage you all, like, look back at your suggestions and ask, like, when's the last time I did these things for myself? When's the last time I went outside walking and took pictures or made some soap or, pulled an oracle card or colored, had some tea? Like, these are all, love all these suggestions. So thank you all so much for sharing them. And, inspire each other. Diane, also listening to your show. Thanks, Diane. Appreciate you being here. Love it. I'm gonna steal some of these ideas for sure. So please inspire each other, lift up some of these, and come back around to my Facebook page, facebook.com/KerriCoach. Would love for you to share. If you start a Happy Moments jar, share a picture with me there. Picture of your drum. Which I'm spacing now. Oh, Gail, yeah. If you wanted to share a picture of your drum, I think that's really cool. I might... I just have a thought that I'm going to have to work through before I promise anything here. But yeah, would love to see what's going on with you guys. So cool. Judy, logging on to hayhouseradio.com and listen. Yeah, love that. I've got my book coming up with the Hay House in the fall, so fingers crossed that can then turn into a radio show. That would be fun. All right, awesome. So check out those blog posts I put in the comment section for flipping a blocking belief, for grounding your energy, etc. And use some of those tools that I shared with you. They're super helpful. And don't forget to get that cute little picture of yourself. Thank you guys so much for spending some time with me. I really appreciate it. And so I got Pamela's suggestion of 1 week on blocking beliefs. Thanks, Melissa. Yep, if anyone has any suggestions for other topics, you can post it on my Facebook group, Facebook page. You can email me, Kerri@KerriRichardson.com. Any other topics you'd like to chat about on one of our Monday night chat sessions, I'd be happy to hear. So thank you all so much for coming. So good to talk with you, and I'll see you back here next week. Have a good week, everybody. Bye.